What's up, guys? Haven't done one of these in a few weeks. Just gonna hop on here, talk about UFC Vegas 37, talk about some bets, talk about the fights, picks, DraftKings. I'm finally back in DraftKings. So we're just gonna talk about all of it. Got some monkey knife fight plays I put out this morning. So hop in here, ask questions. Hopefully we'll all help each other get rich. The fights start at Central Time. Fights start at 3 p.m. Central. It's 1 p.m. Central. So we have about 2 hours. I don't know if we'll use the whole 2 hours, but we have 2 hours before everything gets going. So with that being said, I will be here with you. So if a fight drops, do the right thing. Throw it in the comment section. We'll pin it. And make sure none of us get screwed holding the bag with DraftKings. Since we've been through that terror a bunch of times, they don't let you adjust your lineups after the event starts. I'm just going to walk through some of my bets. I don't know who's seen what. So I'm going to walk through some bets. This week's a weird week with bets with me. If you've been following for the last couple months, I think I've had one single off week in like 8 or 9 weeks. And I lost like a third of a unit or something like that. So I've been doing really, really well. And the key is honestly just conservative bets. Just very conservative. This week's a little less conservative than I normally am, but if you look at these a little closer, 3 of them are round lines. So 3 of these bets, I didn't even pick a person. I just picked a round. The other bet, the Nate Maness one, he can lose that fight, and I still win my bet. So I actually like that one quite a bit because I think Tony Gravely's going to use his wrestling, execute his wrestling, and win a decision. But Tony does get tired. He'll probably give up a round. A lot of people think Nate's going to come out here and just beat the brakes off of Tony. And you know what? This bet accounts for both of those things. Mr. S asking where Jacob is. Jacob honestly just like took a week off. So I tried to film. I wanted to film Monday because we had the reason we go live on Tuesdays and film Tuesdays is because we need to wait for DraftKings numbers and we need to wait for Monkey Knife Fight numbers. Those don't drop till Tuesdays. So that's Tuesdays, literally the earliest we could do our complete show. That's why we normally go on Tuesdays. Last week, DraftKings dropped their numbers like on Saturday. So I was like, guys, let's go Monday. Let's film Monday instead of Tuesday. We'll get an extra day. Jacob's like, no, I don't want to do my research over the weekend. So then we got into like a little text complaining thing. And then, so didn't go Monday. And then Tuesday morning, I'm like, we good for tonight? And he's like, I have a feeling the day's going to get away from me. So I did the show without him. No Jacob. He basically just took a week off. We'll see what happens. Honestly, like as easy as it is for me to like get super pissed and yell at him, Jacob just does this for free. Like he doesn't get paid. He doesn't own any of the channel. When we started this, it was me, him, Nick, and Dan. Then Nick, after like a month, got his fight. He fought in Bellator. Then did a Tommy Hilfiger photo shoot. He's a model for them. I don't know if you knew that. Then he started promoting his movie, and now he's moving houses. So Nick has been stupid busy for a long time. And on top of that, he's got 2 kids, owns a gym. So Nick was always in and out. But then it was me, Dan, and Jacob, and we were equal owners. The whole thing, it was going to be, 33 across the board. Jacob actually said Angelo should have 50. I get 25. Dan gets 25. But then we said, let's make it equal across the board. This way we all have the same like invested interest. After a few months, Jacob did the graphics. So all the graphics you see, Jacob used to do those. And after a few months, he was like, this is too much. I can't. Like doing all of these graphics every week and the research and minority, he's like, it's too much. I still want to be a part of the show, but I don't want to have to be responsible for anything. And honestly, part of that's probably my fault because, I'm the lead here. I run this thing, and I'm like, dude, I need the graphics. I need this. Make these changes. Do this, do that. And he was kind of like, no, I don't want this to be work. I don't want to treat it like work. I don't want it to be work. So he's like, I don't want to own anything. Don't give me any money. Don't give me anything. I will come, I'll film, and we'll just do it that way. And honestly, it was very fair. It would be unfair if he was like, I still want to own and don't want to work. But so it's very fair. And he does, when he comes, which is more often than not, I think he's only taken two times he's not been here. So anyway, no Jacob this week. He basically took a week off, but as much as I want to like punch him in the nuts because I'm a workhorse, and when people aren't workhorses, I get furious. I have really nothing to be mad at. The dude volunteers his time, comes and hangs out and helps me put out content for nothing. So can't get mad at him, even though I want to. So no Jacob, no lock of the week. Honestly, you're probably better off. Here's Jacob's bets, though. He did send his bets. Here's a look at his bets. You can really dig into this and really soak in the quality of his bets. But no Jacob. And we'll catch up on some chat here. I wouldn't, I wouldn't say lazy. I call him lazy and he gets mad. It's hard to say if it's lazy, right? Like anytime you don't do something, you could chalk it up to lazy, but the reality is there's no real reason to do it for him. You know what I mean? Okay. What's up, Nick? West Coast. All right. You're 2 hours behind me. I don't think, honestly, here's what happened. Dan and I are very mean people. I'm a mean person. I'm like friendly, but I'm from the Northeast. I'll push you till you cry. I don't care. And so will Dan. Dan and I are very similar. You should see Dan and I go at it when we disagree on stuff. And then it always works itself out because we're used to just fighting with people and then, no big deal. Jacob is somewhat similar, but he's from the Midwest. He's a little more tame, a little more relaxed. So when I was like, I want to film Monday, and he was like, no, I went at him hard for days. And he was like, you know what? Then just do it without me. So then I just kept pushing and whatever. So, if I was nice in my text messages and if I was like, okay, Tuesday's fine, then I'm sure he would have filmed. But I think he was looking for a little bit of a break. I pushed him. And that was his opportunity to take the break. So it is what it is. No big deal. What's up, Joey? How you doing? Is it? Yeah, it's plague. That's a G, right? It's not plaque like what's on your teeth, right? What's up? What's up, plague? It's not even passive, Jesse. It's not even passive. Full-on bully. What's up, Ace of Spade? And Dan should be joining us probably like an hour. So he's doing stuff with the family right now. The only reason this time works, I've got a full-time job. Dan's got a full-time job. We both have corporate gigs. So does Jacob. The only reason I can get in more time than most is because I'm either home or traveling, and I've been lucky that my travel days have not been on Tuesdays. In 2 weeks, I'm in California for work, and it is Tuesday night is like the welcome reception for the event. So I'm just hoping that it's a lucky week where we have everything on a Monday and I can film on a Monday, or I don't know. That's a week where I'm gonna have to see what I got to do. Angelo, do you think this lineup will win the $60 this afternoon? Arroyo, Blanchfield, Jackson, Jenkins, Maness, and Sarukian. All right. Arroyo, that's a tough fight. So, I picked Arroyo's an absolute tremendous human being. And if you saw the weigh-ins, the size difference between Arroyo and Buckley was, whew. I picked Buckley, but I don't love that pick. So Arroyo's probably a solid pick, honestly. The reason I like Buckley in that is I think he'll come in. Arroyo's just so big. There's a lot of body to beat up there. I think Buckley's going to come in and just light up the body and then come to the head and make something happen. It should be an awesome fight. I mean, they're both strikers. Arroyo uses kicks, and he could use the kicks to keep Buckley away because Arroyo's a Taekwondo guy. The problem is with those Taekwondo styles is they sort of need to be coming forward and dictating, and if he's getting backed up by an aggressive Buckley, he's going to have problems. So Arroyo, the only one that could go either way. Blanchfield, I think, is pretty much a lock. I threw her in my lineup because I'm thinking there's a submission there, but she is fighting a very good wrestler who could literally just hold her down, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Montel Jackson, that's probably a safe pick, but listen, I bet the over. If we look at the bets here, it's covering it. I bet the over on the round line. So I have JP Bays, Montel Jackson going more than 1.5 rounds. JP Bays can wrestle. JP Bays has good striking. He just got absolutely murdered in his last fight. So people are just forgetting how miserable or how good he is. They're just assuming he's as miserable as he was in that Bruno Silva fight. But Montel Jackson's probably a safe pick, but I didn't touch him. And then Brandon Jenkins. I like Brandon Jenkins in that fight. Nate Maness. That fight could go either way. I bet on Nate, but I do think Tony Gravy's going to take him down and hold him down. So, listen, every lineup is an amazing lineup or a horrible lineup until the fights happen. So, I don't think you have anybody in that lineup. Every single person in that lineup can win, has an actual path to victory, and you got a couple of good favorites in there. So, that's a pretty good lineup as far as I'm concerned, but you never know. I don't know. We can have Joe on a little bit. It's super early, so we'll do this for a little bit. And then later on in the show, Joe can hop on and do the what the hell is it called? Ownership stuff. The Monkey Knife Fight lines are tough. If you didn't hit with us earlier, I would suggest staying away. Yeah. Did somebody ask about Monkey Knife Fight? Yeah. I mean, that's what. Listen, we have a gentleman's agreement with Chris. So Chris literally is the guy who sets those Monkey Knife Fight lines. That's him, and it's only him. He and the way that relationship happened, it's really cool. I mean, Chris, a great guy who like changed the course of this channel. Honestly, out of just sheer the stars align. So Chris sets the Monkey Knife Fight lines. I'm gonna hide this just it takes up so much space. I wonder if I could resize this. It's freaking ridiculous. Chris sets the Monkey Knife Fight lines. So what Chris would do is he would set his lines. Or before setting his lines, he'd go on, do his research. He does all of his math research, which you've heard him talk through, right? He breaks down how many strikes per minute each fighter typically lands, and then he breaks down how many minutes that fight should go, and then he comes up with the lines. And then he will go and do let's call that the hard research because it's straight up facts and math. Then he'll do his soft research, which is watching channels like ours and other people and reading and doing that research because, as we all know, styles make fights. Like stats are stats, which are great, but styles make fights. And, you could have a really good kickboxer, really good wrestler. They both have high output. But when you put them together, the wrestler's going to take them down and, right, the output's going to change. So then he'll watch that stuff. We somehow ended up in his rotation, and this is before we knew him. So he must have been Googling and searching on YouTube for fight breakdowns and came across us. And then after a few weeks, he sent an email saying, listen, you guys are like the most accurate people that I watch. He's like, I watch all of these shows. Everybody that does a show like this, I watch the shows so that I can know if my lines are good or bad. You guys are freaking rock solid. I'm the guy who sets all the Monkey Knife Fight lines, and I didn't know what Monkey Knife Fight was at the time. He's like, give me a call. Maybe we can, I don't know. He's like, I can put you in touch with some people. So we had a call with him, and then he put us in touch with their team. We started playing Monkey Knife Fight, and I was like, this is awesome. I didn't even know it existed until he reached out, and I was like, this is awesome. We just got to pick strike lines. Like, this is phenomenal. And then we started to love it, and then we worked out the deal and stuff, and that's when we were like, dude, we should do the same with bets. And then we got the betting deals. So anyway, he changed the course of the channel. This is a long rant on a comment from Plague Runner talk about the Monkey Knife Fight lines. So now he's like super helpful. I guess we help each other, right? He absolutely helped us by getting us in touch with them. He helps me by giving me the lines so that I can do the slides and stuff lots of times before they're live. And then, sometimes he'll ask questions. How do you think this will go? And then I answer the question, and then the line, I'm not going to lie to him, right? I could be a sneaky weasel and be like, oh, nah, that's going to be a very low output. And then, then hammer the over. But anyway, the gentleman's agreement that he has with us is when we do our live show on Tuesdays and I'm breaking down the fights and doing the Monkey Knife Fight stuff, and that's the first time he's ever really heard anything that we have to say is during a live show, he lets all of you hammer his lines. Go in there, make your plays, do your bets, whatever you want to call it in Monkey Knife Fight, and then he'll change them the next morning. So the comment was from Plague Runner, the lines are bad now, and that's what happens. And he says that all the time in our breakdown video is, come Saturday, these lines are tough as hell because everybody's come in, they've hammered it, they've moved it, and it ends up leveling off. So let's catch up on some chat because that was a 30-minute story about Monkey Knife Fight lines. Okay. Let's see. And it is $60 to the DraftKings winner this week. If you're watching, first of all, like the stream. That'd be incredibly helpful, please. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Also helpful. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe when you play in our free DraftKings league, because if you're a subscriber and you win, I send you $15. This week, if you're a member, there's a join button under this video. Click it and become a member now, because if you win the DraftKings league this week, I will send you $60. It's normally $30, but Joe Todoro won last time, and he said pay it forward. And he's a member, so I'm taking his $30 and giving it to the next member. So now it's $60 if a member wins. If you're a subscriber, you still only get $15. But if you're a member, $30. So become a member. Let's catch up. Anne Blanchfield getting it done by submission plus 450. Honestly, I might do that right now. I do think that's what happens. Anytime you got a good wrestler like that, you could just be, I'm logging into Bet Online on my phone to place that bet. If it's still 450, I will put a half of a unit on that. I don't know if it's still 450 though. These lines, fight day, the lines move like crazy. Sorry, you're just watching me place bets. This is like when I do the show with Dan, and he's just like, you can just see the degenerate gambler in him just seeping through as he's like, ooh, and he just starts flushing money down the toilet. Here we go. Aaron Blanchfield. Round 1, 2, 3. Come on, Aaron Blanchfield. I see rounds. Wins inside the distance plus 175. Where the hell's wins by submission? Aaron Blanchfield. Why am I only getting the round? There it is. It's plus 300 now. You know what? I'll take it at plus 300. Here's a half a unit. Submit. If I lose that bet, I'm going to pretend that I didn't do it. This market is currently unavailable. Why? What the hell happened? It didn't take my bet. I'll have to do it at... I can still do it later. I'll have to do that later. I don't know why it didn't take my bet. And we have a new betting partner, Bet US, 125% deposit match. I might have to check with them. wewantpicks.com/bets. How do I get my lineup in for the 60? So go to wewantpicks.com. If you scroll down, you just see DraftKings. Click on DraftKings, and then there's a link there to join our league. Join our league. Inside the league, you'll see a bunch of different contests because now we let you guys make contests. Some free, some pay, whatever. There's one that says the word official on it. Just enter your lineup into that. It's 100% free. Costs $0 whatsoever. Enter your lineup. If you win, we pay you. If you lose, who cares? You had some fun. But only the members get 60. So if you're a subscriber, I'll give you 15. If you're a member, there's a join button on this video. Everybody in the comment section with a crown, they're members. If you're a member, I send you 60. And there's winners in here right now. I literally Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, however people want it. So yeah. I have a feeling Jackson with his length could snatch up Bay's neck. Yeah, he's a gigantic favorite. And I'm not saying that Bays will win. I'm just saying Bays has a path to victory. A path. Like he could, if he sticks to a wrestling first game plan, he could absolutely go in there, wrestle, take his time, wrestle, and win that fight. And we've seen Montel Jackson lose that way before. Parlay for dog action. Spann, Kanzide, I don't think Panny Kanzide is going to win. Spann can. Nate Maness can. Montel Jackson should. Sarukian should. Shit. That's good money. I would remove Kanzide from that and get plus 1,000 instead. I don't think Spann wins, but Spann can. He has a path. I'm not positive what Kanzai's path will be. I mean, maybe I'm way off, but what's her name? Raquel Pennington's no joke, man. She's only lost to, at least in the last 10 years of her career, she's only lost to some of the best women on the planet. And I don't think Penny is one of the best women on the planet. I don't think stacking the main event is going to be a good idea for this one. Because I don't think it's a war. I think it's either... I don't think it's a war, right? And for you to get your value out of them, it needs to be a war. Because you want to get... When you do... I don't know if you've ever done the math, but if you take fighter A, fighter B, total up their costs, and then divide it by 2, it's $8,100 for every single fight. So you got to look at it as... Will I get $8,100 worth of value from each fighter? And to me, that's like 70 points or more. If I can get 70 points, if I can get 150 or 200 points out of a doubled up main event, then I'll double up the main event. If I can't, then I won't. I think whoever loses that fight is a pretty low scoring. The fight we did talk about doubling up is, what the hell's his name? Come on. It's right here. Is Zhu Rong and Brandon Jenkins. Because Zhu Rong is $7,600. Brandon Jenkins is $67. So if you add that up and divide it by 2, all of a sudden, what is that? Dan did it for me yesterday. I've already forgotten. 7,600 plus 6,700. $7,300. Now it's like, all right. That's two $7,300 fighters. That might be worth it. It's only a 3-round fight, but that actually could be a war. And you might get, 50, 60 points out of each one of them in that fight, even the loser. So if that was 5 rounds, I would do that. No problem. The reason I took Jackson is because I think Bays gets flatlined with an uppercut when he goes. Yeah. I mean, Montel Jackson's a big time favorite for a reason. And I picked him to win. But if you notice, my bet is not on him. It's on the round itself. Just because, man, we haven't seen enough of JP Bays to count him out yet. We saw that one knockout, and that happens. He gets knocked out again, then we know what he is. Let's see. Here's another parlay. Kanzai Manes Spann, plus 1,100. I mean, that's a solid... That's solid. Kanzai's the one that makes me nervous, but that's solid. Yeah, I tried to play. You just watched me. I tried to place it. It didn't go through. I'll try again in a few minutes because I do like that. And I don't normally, you guys don't normally see me. What the fizzle dizzle, man? Take it. The hell's the problem? This market currently unavailable. Does it show unavailable and I just don't see it on my... It's not taking that bet. Maybe that's why. Maybe it literally changed from 450 to 300. And I'm doing Bet Online. That's who I normally use. I use Bet US now for certain stuff. They have Bet US has much better customer service, and they have the better promo match, 125% with promo code WWP. So I threw a bunch of money in there, but it depends on the situation. So I'll have to check with them. You made 2 contests. You talk about in the league. So Dan is going to join us like half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. No, Jacob. Jacob's taking the week off. I bullied him. So he thinks he's spiting me. And you know what? Maybe that's what I have to do. Bet a submission in each round. So round 1... Blanchfield submission round 1 plus 900. Round 2, 13. Round 3. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. So clear this. Goodbye. I'll put a quarter of a unit on each. You took that bet, didn't you? All right. That's I have to go all the way freaking back. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. I'm going to bet each round at a quarter of a unit. So obviously I'll lose 2, but hopefully I win 1. Okay. Clear my bet slip. This is so annoying on the phone. Quarter of a unit. All right. Clear my slip. And now let me do the third round. So if Blanchfield wins by submission in any round, I'm sitting pretty. And I mean, she's going to lose now, right? That's what's going to happen. Or just win a decision. Because that's what happens, guys. When I do these bets with you all loosey-goosey like this, that's when they don't hit. So we'll see. All right, let's keep going. Where's Jacob? I just walked through that story. So Jacob, he basically took the week off. I won the film on Monday. He won the film on Tuesday. I bullied him, and then he quit for the week. So, oh well, that's what you get for being a bully. He'll probably be back next week. He didn't like quit the show. He's just like, I'm a baby. I have his bets though. Here's Jacob's bets. Take a look, dig in, write them down. These are Jacob's bets. This is how successful he will be betting tonight. He actually did send me his bets, but without him explaining them, I'm not putting them on. And it was just a random screenshot. Penny's path, we need to keep it at range with her boxing and not get stuck against the cage. She's a better striker, in my opinion, but I see real. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. You're 100% correct. I just, who has, like, name anybody who has stopped Raquel Pennington from holding them against the cage that isn't a current or former world champion. That's the problem. That is the problem. Jenkins probably is my favorite dog. I'm looking now. I mean, there's 15 fights. There's 30 fighters. 15 of them are underdogs. I would say he is absolutely my favorite underdog, for sure. For sure. I didn't bet him. Should I? This is the problem, man. I'm on the live stream. I get loosey-goosey with the freaking the betting finger, and I don't have anybody here. Like, usually Dan is a degenerate, and I look at it, I'm like, Jesus, dude, what a degenerate. And it keeps me level. But it's just me. So we'll see. So Lipsky is not good off of her back. If she's on top, she actually is pretty solid on the ground. It's when she's on her back, she's not very good. And listen, like, look at the bets. I didn't bet it. So I know a lot of you guys, like, you watch the videos, you hear my pick or Jacob's or Dan's or whatever, you hear the pick and then you run with it. That's a very, very close fight. And I have to make a pick, right? What kind of show would this be if there's no pick? It's a very close fight. My opinion is that Ariane Lipsky has more experience. A lot more experience, both in the UFC and in her career in general. Mandy Bohm is, she's making her UFC debut. It's, I think, a pretty evenly matched fight as far as skills are concerned. Mandy's pretty good everywhere. She's not great anywhere. Her striking's solid, her grappling's solid. She's only got 7 fights, and you know what I always say about undefeated fighters, right? It could be 7 on her way to 50-0 or 7, and then she ends up 7-5 in 6 months. Who knows? So she's decent everywhere, but it is regional level experience. And she doesn't have one specific skill in her back pocket, right? It's not nasty wrestler. That'll always be there. Nasty kickboxer. That'll always be there. She's an MMA fighter. She's pretty good at everything. And so is Ariane Lipsky. They're basically mirror images of each other, except Lipsky has more experience in the UFC, more experience in her entire career. And I think Lipsky's just a little bit better everywhere. She's coming off of 2 losses, but look at who she lost to and how she lost. That's not how she's going to lose this fight. Mandy's not going to take her down and control her the same way her last 2 opponents did. So, Ariana needs to push the pace. She needs to dictate, and she needs to stay off her back. If she gets her own takedown, she's just fine. If she gets taken down, that's when she struggles a bit. So I agree. That's how I got to Ariane Lipsky. But you don't see a bet, so I wasn't that comfortable. I'm working my way through the comments, guys. I'm working my way through. Let's see. So hopefully I answered your question. I just walked through that. Yeah, it's interesting though, because I'm pretty sure they hemorrhage money. So they're not profitable yet. As the sportsbook side of thing grows, they'll hopefully end up profitable for their sake. I don't know how well fantasy does. Their margin is literally 20%, and they have a ridiculous amount of overhead, ridiculous budget for advertising, marketing. They have to pay for all the data. So I don't know how well it does on that side. So all their eggs are in the sportsbook basket. Let me pull up. I break down so many freaking fights, guys. I need to look at my notes to remind me. So I have Carlson Harris in that fight. And the reason I have Carlson Harris is so Impa's a nasty striker, but he takes his time, dude. He takes his time. Like he's a little gun shy at times, and it's very, very frustrating. I mean, he bounced back from why am I getting a work call on a Saturday? Yeah, sorry, bud. You're gonna have to wait. He takes his time. He doesn't always let his hands go. And because he's waiting for a perfect strike, because he's waiting for a very technical kickboxing match, he can fall behind the scorecard. And Carlson Harris is a nasty wrestler. He has wild striking, so his wildness can keep him in the striking fight, right? It'll be hard for Impa to time some of the crazy crap that he'll send. And those are really there to set up his takedowns. And I think his takedowns will be solid. I think they'll be there. He's relentless with them. He's always looking for a takedown. So Impa doesn't have power. He's not putting anybody away. So Impa has very good striking, doesn't always use his hands, falls behind because he takes his time. Carlson Harris, nonstop wrestling, will push the pace, and I think he'll just stay in Impa's face and grind him out. So that's why I picked against. Holly Holm's a former champion. Holly Holm is all feint and noise, way overrated. I mean, you say that, but she's a former champion and has fought some of the best people on the planet. So she's legit good. Legit good. Is she an all-time great? No. Let's see. Yeah, thanks. Somebody else in the comment section threw out the odds, which is what pushed me to bet the submission. I have her in my DraftKings lineup as well. Listen, she could very well, like that fight could be her getting taken down and on her back the whole time without any success with a submission. That is very possible. She's fighting a very good wrestler. But if you look a little deeper, her opponent's wrestling, yes, is good, but like she loses scrambles. Like Sarah Alpar will roll when she's not supposed to roll, reach where she's not supposed to reach. All of a sudden there's a weird scramble. And even though she got the takedown, she's now in the lesser position. So not a great idea. No fight companion today because the main card starts at 6 p.m. my time. And the problem, I have kids. So I can't every Saturday night be like, all right, honey, raise the kids while I lock myself in the room. And so, it's one thing when the cards start at 8 or 9 and my kids are asleep, but it starts at 6. So that would, I wouldn't be able to eat with them and it'd be a whole thing. So no fight companion this week, but you can just assume any card that starts at the normal time, which is 9 Central for me, then those we'll have a fight companion for. And pay-per-views are tricky because I have people over for pay-per-views. Actually, here's a question for you. If you like the fight companions, so next week we have UFC 266. I have my cousin coming over. He's flying in. And then I'll always have, like, Jacob will probably be there. And then I always have, like, 2 friends over. We watch the fights, we drink, we hang out. When it's just me and Jacob, it's easy for me to have the laptop, do the live chat, do all of that. When it's everybody, I wouldn't be able to participate. So if you would want to see a live stream where I can't really participate, you're more than welcome. If not, hold on. Okay. Okay. That was the work voicemail. Basically, I have a conference call at 8 o'clock Monday morning, left me a message saying you're going to be solo because the person who normally runs it, blah, blah. Anyway, If you guys would want to watch a fight companion where there's like minimal participation with the live chat and really just a bunch of guys hanging out watching fights, talking about the fights, but talking about other things, I can do that. But I'm not going to, I can't do a normal full-blown fight companion for UFC 266 if I have friends and family over and I'm like, hey, shut up. I'm on a stream. Okay. So it's up to you. I mean, no effort on my part to turn the camera on and get it all set up and just hang out and tell everybody you're on camera. Don't forget. Okay. Well, that would be a fight reaction, basically. Just everybody, and it would be like 5 people fight reaction. Who said she's top 5? Did I say she's top 5? I didn't say she's top 5. I said she's fought some of the best, but I didn't say she was top 5. Let's see. I think Irene would beat Penny. I'm pretty sure on Pennington. Yeah, I don't see Raquel Pennington losing. I almost bet on her as well. The problem is, this is why I'm so successful in my bets, because I have restraint. Where, like, I think Raquel Pennington wins. I can get her good money. Let me throw that bet on there. I think, I just did a couple of submission bets, which I don't normally do. So if those don't hit, it's a lesson for me and everybody else. Don't chase the big odds. If you look at my bets here, and maybe I'm going to have a bad week, but I haven't had a bad week in months. And it's because look at these. 3 of these bets are only for rounds. One of them, this guy could lose the fight and I'd still hit. I only laid money out on 2 money lines. Ariana Lipski, I placed it. I felt confident about it. And then immediately after, I'm like, I don't know. If I could undo this one, I'd probably undo Lipski and then put it on Raquel for a little bit more money. But once I start getting crazy and betting on everybody is when you might have issues. Dad advice. Well, if you watch the monkey knife fight video I did this morning, one of my daughters was floating around the background, and you'll see like edits because I was like, Avery, get out of the camera. Avery, there's creeps on the internet. Get out of the camera. So, here's the number one advice I'll give to anybody having kids. Teach them how to sleep. I played 0 games as far as sleep and schedule. The fact that I'm here right now, every single Saturday at this time, because my kids nap. And the fact that every single day, 8 p.m., those kids are in bed and they will sleep from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. It allows me to live a normal human life. My wife can have a normal life. And I know a lot of people whose kids stay up late, sleep in the bed, and whatever, like to each their own. And some people love it. Some people are like, oh, my kids, my life, blah, blah, blah. I took the time. There's a book. It's called 12 Hours in 12 Weeks. It teaches you how to get your kid to sleep 4 hours every night. I didn't read the book because I'm not in high school, but I watched a YouTube video of somebody summarizing the book, took those notes, did it, and now my kids sleep 12 hours clean every single night and take a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day so I can have a normal life. That's my dad advice for you. No joke. My wife, I did it because she couldn't handle it. She can't handle the kids crying when they were babies. So I was like, go sleep in the other room. I will do this. I will bottle feed out overnight. I will take care of all of this, sleep in the other room. So my wife slept in the other room for 2 weeks. And it sucked, but 2 shitty weeks to set up, 10 great years. Fine with me. All right, let's see. She might be. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the rankings in a while. Blanchfield or Jackson in DraftKings? Blanchfield. I think Blanchfield gets an early submission, honestly. Montel Jackson could win, should win, will probably win, but there are too many unknowns with JP Bays. JP Bays is wrestling. We've seen the path to victory to how to beat Montel Jackson, which is wrestling. We know JP Bays is a good wrestler. I think that line on JP Bays is just so dramatic because of how his last fight went. And I think it's a bit misleading, and that fight will be a little closer. And listen, he might get murdered, right? But I think it'll be a little closer. So I think Blanchfield is better than Jackson in DraftKings, and that's the direction I went. No, I wasn't a fighter. I managed professional fighters. So I wrestled my whole life. And then after wrestling, one of my buddies was like, you should do jiu-jitsu. I drive over to New York and I do jiu-jitsu with this guy, Gene. like, okay. So I started doing jiu-jitsu, and then did that really well, started competing in that. That replaced wrestling for me. So instead of traveling and wrestling in tournaments and doing all that, I started traveling and competing in jiu-jitsu. And so then I ended up at, it wasn't American Top Team at the time, but it became American Top Team while I was there in Connecticut. And my coach, Luigi, that's where Dan trains. And at one point, there was a small period in time where I'm like, I want to be a professional fighter. And then I was just like, nah, this isn't for me. I was training. Glover was there. That's how me and Dan know Glover really well, because Glover was there training. So it'd be like me, Dan, Glover, a bunch of other people. I was big and a wrestler, so I'd get rounds in with everybody. But I enjoyed the training and all of that. But I just, knowing you're going to get punched in the face in 3 weeks in front of your friends and family is a very different experience than showing up to a wrestling tournament knowing, all right, I'm going to wrestle 10 times today. Okay, no big deal. But like knowing you're going to get into a fist fight is a very, very big deal. What was I going to say? Okay. So Dan, so I'm just training to stay in shape, and I enjoy competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments, which I did forever. Dan got onto the Ultimate Fighter. So we were friends. We knew each other, trained together. He wanted to be a professional fighter. I didn't. Glover training there. Dan made it on the Ultimate Fighter and then got the UFC contract. So he moved to Florida, left Connecticut to move to Florida full-time to train at ATT's headquarters. And then, he had 2 fights in the UFC. He made his pro debut in the UFC, and Dan's the other person on this show, the good-looking one, if you're wondering who the hell Dan is. He made his pro debut in the UFC and all that, and then he was like, hey, I need a manager. Do you want to manage me? I'm like, okay. And this is in 2003, right? 4, some shit like that. 5, I don't know, something like that. 8, I don't know. When there wasn't really sort of how it went. So anyway, I started managing Dan, getting him fights. Then other people at the gym, can you get me fights? And it just happened by accident. Dan was like, you're smart. Can you help me? I started helping Dan, started helping everybody else. Then I ended up managing fighters for about 15 years. I still manage Nick Newell. Nick Newell, who started the couple months of the show with us, has a movie, Notorious Nick, fights in Bellator now. So still manage him. Everybody else, I was like, guys, I don't have enough time to manage you. But Nick was like, no, I trust you. Keep managing me. So no, never fought, trained forever, competed in wrestling, competed in jiu-jitsu, both at, pretty high levels for a very long time. And I managed professional fighters. So, and I honestly think me being in the sport at that capacity, Dan actually being a fighter, Nick actually being a fighter, I think it gives us better reads on a lot of these fights. Because if you compare, I've seen other channels where they have good information. The information they're giving you is good information, but they're getting the picks wrong and they're reading it wrong. Like fighter A does this pretty well. Fighter B does this pretty well. It's like, yes, but you're missing the, when they actually match up, these strengths and these strengths line up differently. So I see people get reads wrong. And I think where Dan will get some good reads and I'll get some good reads is just literally being around the sport for most of our adult life, honestly. Catch up on a bunch of other crap. What's up, Chester? Yes, good luck to everybody. And guys, I see the live chat going crazy, so good. I see you guys sharing stuff with each other. That's the point of this, right? Ask me questions. I'll ask you questions. I just placed 3 bets based off of somebody's tip in the live chat, so that's what we're here for. Help each other out. Get rich together. So I have Kudalaba as well. No bet, you can see, other than the over on the rounds. That says Clark Kudalaba. It's supposed to be Clark and Kudalaba. Anyway, people are hating that Kudalaba pick. But again, I only bet the over on rounds. I didn't actually bet on him to win because he can win. He should win. But he's got pretty crap fight IQ and could make some pretty terrible decisions. But yeah, for knockout kings, Kudalaba should be good. Montel Jackson should be good. Arroyo, I'm not feeling that one. I'm not feeling Arroyo in there. Honestly, you should have what the hell is his name? The biggest favorite on the entire card. Sarukian. Because it's not just straight up knockouts, it's TKOs as well. So with Sarukian's wrestling, he might take him down and that's it. No way. Like he just said, she is a joke. You're clueless. Is this about me? Tell me, are you saying I'm clueless? Jesus. What is all this hate for Holly Holm? Professional boxer, former UFC champion. Come on, you're making it sound like she's freaking. Who's that wrestler? I don't even remember who the wrestler is. Oh my God, CM Punk. All right, let's see. My daughter just heard your voice. Angelo was doing a fake cry because she wanted to see what her dad was watching and saw your face. She smiled. All right. I have that effect on women. But that is cool. Thanks for sharing that. Genuinely, Buckley. He should. I picked Buckley to win. I think. So Arroyo's tremendous. I don't know if you guys saw the them lined up at the weigh-ins. It was like this, like freaking tremendous. But I actually think that could help Buckley. I like shorter guys when they're wrestlers, but Buckley does like body shots. So if he was just headhunting, it would be hard to get all the way up there. But coming in nice and low, Mike Tyson style, ripping the body with Arroyo's freaking length like that. Arroyo's taekwondo, which he needs distance, and I think Buckley gets that done. Angelo, is this your final bets or did you add anything? The only thing I added was just now while we were all talking, I added Aaron Blanchfield wins by submission, and I couldn't get it overall, so I did just a little bit on each round. Thank you. No, there's 0% chance I'm going to Hudamak Ramirez. Thank you. I genuinely listen. I appreciate that you appreciate it, and that is 100% sincere. If I came on here by myself and you guys didn't participate and whatever, or everybody was just full of hate and rage for no reason, it'd be miserable for me. We do this. We love the sport. Obviously, I've been around the sport for a very long time. We do it because we're a group of friends. We were already playing DraftKings. We were already betting on fights. We were already arguing with each other over who's going to win and how they're going to win. And I said, let's make it a show. So we made it a show. Now that COVID sort of slowed down a little bit, it's harder to get all of us together at the same time because Dan is lives on an airplane at this point in his career. But I appreciate that. And I've said a million times over, we have by far the best subscribers of anybody that does this. Because you guys are all positive, only a couple of trolls. And even then, they're not even good at trolling. Everybody's super positive, super supportive. We have a lot of members. I did not think we would have as many members as we do. And that just tells me that people appreciate the channel enough to actually become a member. So, thanks. I appreciate even just a comment like that is nice, especially a week like this where it was all me except for 2 videos with Dan. It it helps because I have a job. I've got a wife and 2 kids, and sometimes my wife is like, "Ugh, are you filming tonight?" Ugh. Last Saturday, she was pissed, real pissed, when we did the Vitor Belfort fight because that started and the kids were still awake, and she was like, "Next time you're filming," except with a southern accent. I'll smoke Dan. I mean, 100%, dude. That whole argument, who's going to beat Dan? Listen, I'm a slob who's out of shape right now, but and Dan's in phenomenal shape. Like he's a professional fighter who never let himself get out of shape. I let myself get out of shape, but I wrestled my entire life. Dan wrestled for MMA during his MMA career. Let's be real. They're different skill sets. Let's be real. And I wrestled my whole life. We started training jiu-jitsu at the exact same time. He should be better than me in a straight roll. Like if we start on our knees and crap like that, but it's not a straight roll. It's a wrestling match, buddy boy. Good luck. And anybody who doesn't know, Dan and I have argued over who would win. And him and I eventually, whenever we can get together, I'm in Texas, he's in Florida. We're going to go at it. Starting on our feet, grappling match. I just answered this one. Thoughts on Rodriguez? Hold on. Let me pull up my notes, make sure I don't miss anything. So Chukwi and Mike Rodriguez. I picked Mike Rodriguez to win. So first of all, Chukwi's going up to 185 here. Going up to 205 from 185. He's bouncing up a weight class. He's a technical guy, which is really good for him. And when he's in a rhythm, he is in a rhythm. The problem is sometimes he won't throw. I don't know how many Chukwi fights you've seen where you're just screaming at him to throw more punches. His volume's typically pretty low. Mike Rodriguez is also a striker, but he uses his tools a little better. Like, he's not as technical as Chukwi is, but he'll mix up his punches and his kicks more often. He's got way more volume. And Mike Rodriguez has no problem if he's at the end of the punch, right? Or if he's inside the pocket mixing it up. He's super long. His cardio is really his biggest issue, but I don't know, like, if Chukwi's not pushing the pace, which he never does, why would all of a sudden, I don't see him gassing, because if he's not getting pushed, why would he gas? Grappling could be an issue, but Chukwi's not going to grapple. So honestly, I think Mike Rodriguez is just more volume, more pressure, a little more comfortable in the fight than Chukwi is. And while Tafon Chukwi's waiting for the perfect strike, I think Mike Rodriguez would have already gotten off 2 or 3. So I think, I like Mike Rodriguez, but, let's be real. Chukwi's got some actual power. Mike Rodriguez doesn't have the most phenomenal chin, so he can get caught, but I do like Mike Rodriguez in this fight. And again, it's styles make fights, because Chukwi is definitely the better, more technical striker, but his slow style compared to Mike Rodriguez's busier style, he's just going to be 1 or 2 punches behind. Oh, Jakey boy. You want to join me on camera, buddy boy? I didn't send you a link because I figured you wouldn't. But you want me to send you a link? I didn't see this comment, just Jacob. So that makes sense. Well, listen, first of all, I see now I hate that I even asked you to hop on. I hate that I gave you that satisfaction. I hate that I gave you that. I want you to be wanting me, honestly, is what I want. I bullied you. You quit the show for a week because I bullied you. And I asked you to come back on right now. And that was amateur bully move. Amateur bully move. You leave on top as the bully. You don't go crawling back to the victim. Big mistake on my part. I don't invite you. Even if you're free, you're not hopping on the show, period. Honestly, so Thiago Santos, Moretta. I managed Moretta for a very, very short period of time before the UFC. A lot of those UFC guys, I've gotten or American Top Team guys, 1 or 2 fights before the UFC. Once they get to the UFC, they either have a big time manager or no manager at all, because the gym takes care of everything. But anyway, Thiago Moretta Santos, I think he, he's very good. He's very good. The grappling can be an issue. Johnny Walker, when he's on. He's super long. I think I like Thiago Santos because he's got such stupid power. And look what he almost did to Glover, right? But then Glover, thankfully, has that wrestling to lean on and can go to that. Johnny Walker doesn't really. So I like Thiago Santos in that fight. I have to do my full research and really dig in. But I like Thiago Santos in that fight. And we've seen Johnny Walker put out cold by non-strikers. Now that we know that chin can get touched, take somebody like Thiago Santos with that kind of power, I think he'll touch it. I will hope Dan's the underdog or the favorite in that matchup. Just surely, if you saw us both with our shirts off next to each other, you'd be like, wow, Angelo has a phenomenal tan, but Dan's in much better shape. That's how that would go. I don't think Jacob has a lock of the week. Oh, he said Spann. He's pretending he's at the gym, Mbaye. He's pretending he's busy. Oh, I can't. I'm washing my hair tonight. That's the game Jake is playing right now. That's what I get for. I shouldn't have asked him to come on. That's it is. I'm getting soft. I have daughters. My bullying ways. I'm starting to soften up on how I bully. Well, let me finish this live chat. The bets have been up for a while. I'll throw up Monkey Knife Fight. We'll talk about some of those guys. I've got $20 left. I joined the league. I subscribed. How do you become a member? Mr. S with the support. Under this video, there should be a little button that says join. Click that. And if you don't see the join button, in the description of this video, there's a section that says support the channel. And one of them says become a member, and there's a link. Click that. Thank you ahead of time. It's very, very, very appreciated. And hopefully you get the $60. Yeah, Jacob. Yeah. Let's start the breakdown. Here's the breakdown. Ryan Hall can't wrestle to save his life. Has no idea how to wrestle. Refuses to learn how to wrestle. Ryan Hall loses because he'll be on his back the whole time after Derek Minner wrestles the hell out of him. Elbow sandwiches across the board for Ryan Hall. Picking against them. That's my breakdown already. Ryan Hall will be eating elbow sandwiches for 15 minutes. What about Dan's lazy ass? Said, oh, I can hop on it too. It's 2, you muppet. You still coming on? You pretty piece of shit. All right. See you. Thank you very much for the support, honestly. And yeah, thank you. Ankle lock. Yeah, okay. And Ryan Hall is just so useless. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's look at some monkey knife fight. Jester, I'm with you. I'm with you. If Ryan Spann had some speed, it would be a different pick. But he's slow. And hopefully Anthony Smith can read those big, heavy, slow shots coming from a mile away. Monkey knife fight. Here's what I've done. So anybody, hopefully you can read that. It looks a little small, but monkey knife fight. What I do is I have $100 in my account. I started with 100. Every week, let's say I'm up $10. I'll withdraw 10. Actually, 10 I'll just leave. Let's say I'm up $50. I'll withdraw 50, leave 100 in, and then the next week, play all 100. I do $10 per line. $10 per line. The only times I'll ever do more is for UFC Knockout Kings. I put $20 on because the payout's a little less, but it's also almost a guarantee. So I do $10 per line. I usually do 8, 9, 10 lines. Hopefully tomorrow I wake up. I've got 150, 200. I'll withdraw the winnings, leave the 100 in there, go from there. That's typically how I do it. I have not had to make a deposit in forever. So that's how I do it. Honestly, you guys should go. Anybody watching, first of all, please like the stream. I'll be on here for another hour till the fights start. So please like the stream. Please subscribe. If you're watching this right now, you're not a subscriber, just click the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. And it's very helpful for me because it tells YouTube, hey, people like the crap that this kid's putting out every week. But also, if you, it doesn't take a genius to understand when we're talking about the bets, how to bet. Most people are familiar with DraftKings. With the betting, grab a promo. I mean, we have free money everywhere with promos, deposit matches. Grab one of those at wewantpicks.com/bets. But monkey knife fight, I'm just going to do a quick sales pitch here. Anybody watching that doesn't know what it is, or you've seen us do the breakdown, it is the easiest thing in the world. And there's so many of you. Every week, there's always 2 or 3 people that are like, oh, I waited, I just did it, and I love it. Don't wait. Like, it is so fun. It's legitimately fun. It's more fun than DraftKings, because here's the problem with DraftKings. It's you versus, in my case, we have like a private league that I compete with my friends in, so it's me versus like 15 people. But a lot of people are doing, and then I'll do 50-50s and double-ups. But a lot of people are doing 1,000-person league. It's you versus thousands of people. You versus hundreds of people. Your lineup could go 5-1 and you still lose money. Monkey knife fight pays out 2.5 times all the way up to 25 times your money. And it's just you versus the line, not versus anybody else. So you're just watching fights. You're not even needing a specific outcome. You're just rooting for more punches, less punches, volume, stuff like that. So it's a ton of fun. It's super easy. Henry, thank you for the subscription. Looks like my plea worked. It's a ton of fun. It genuinely is. That's just my little sales pitch. If you're watching, we do have a promo code. It's WWP. They'll instantly match your deposit. The same thing I tell everybody. Create an account. Do your initial deposit. They'll match it. Use the free money. If you got $50 to throw around, throw in $50. They'll give you 50. Use the free 50. Play 5 lines at $10 and see how you do. That's what I say. And here we go. Dalton, after my initial deposit, I have literally never had to redeposit on Monkey Knife Fight. It's all been house money. It's my favorite way to bet. And 100%. I literally tell everybody, not only is it quote unquote easy, but it's fun. Because like I said, you're not rooting for a specific outcome unless you do knockout kings. You're just rooting for, especially if you do mores, you just want people to go at it. So either way, it's a ton of fun. You should do it. That's the long ass sales pitch, promo code WWP. And we do basically three breakdowns a week talking about it. So I'm always on a power trip. I've made the comment before, I run this place like North Korea. Jacob got a little sassy the other day. So guess what? Angelo Jung-il, Jacob's stuck in the live chat pretending he's at the gym. Yes, I agree. So the question was, is Smith Spann only 2 rounds? I have the over on 2.5. So if he gets to the third or more than 2.5, I make some money, and that's what I'm doing there. Yeah, but you can't. Styles make fights, so they did both do that. But you got to look a little. You got to look a little deeper. I think Anthony Smith hangs around the outside, avoids big shots. Ryan Spann's a little slower, and Anthony Smith is the toughest dude on the face of the earth. I don't see him getting put away super quick, so I think it goes a little bit. You don't know me that well. I'll do this show by myself till my eyes bleed. I don't need to hold. No. Big Papa Bo. Especially I get mad very quickly. Countertop crunchy chewable nugget ice maker. What is my wife sending me? Yeah, all right. I'd like an ice maker. $400? We don't need a $400 ice maker. We have a refrigerator that makes ice. Okay. All right, well, let's kick Jacob out of the live stream. I don't think so. I think he will get a stoppage. It could go the distance, but I think it's just going to be light him up on his feet and then just a ton of elbows to the face on the ground. Monkey Knife Fight is not available in my jurisdiction, and they blocked your VPN. What VPN do you use, by the way? Are you in Canada? You use the word jurisdiction. Makes me think you're in Canada. I saw that because I've actually said a million times, because her brother, I usually drink wine, and I know that sounds absurd, but like it has 15% alcohol, so crushes beers. So, and I love whiskey, but whiskey makes my heart beat. Like I get hot, and the body's working overtime to burn it off. I can do vodka, no problem, but you don't always want a vodka. And then tequila on the rocks is not bad either. But so I've said like, oh, it'd be nice if we had more ice. But the problem is her brother comes over and he's just whiskey. And he uses up all the fridge ice, but I'm not going to spend $400 for the 3 times a year her brother comes over. $100, sure. 4? No. We don't have enough members to be spending $400 on ice makers. Arkansas gate guard double-legged Angelo as soon as he got close. That Arkansas wrestling. Yes, all 3 of those things. That's me in a nutshell. People must see me get out of this. So I drive a minivan. My wife went out and got the really nice Volvo, and then got a minivan. And because I work from home, I'm the one who drops the kids off at school. So obviously I'm the one stuck with the minivan. So people must see me get out. I'm 6'3", 260, tattoos. People must see me drop the kids off and be like, what the fuck? Jacob, make the design. I'll upload it. Make the design. I'll upload it. Okay. Probably. He hasn't joined the show since. Useless pick. It's all just meathead stuff, dude. Like, it's meathead stuff that I've had for a very long time. Down my back, arms. It's not artistic. Pretty. It's 19 years old. Training. Like, yeah. Okay. Let's look at some Monkey Knife Fight. Here's the ones that I have. I'll tell you the ones I have. We'll talk about the ones I'm doing. And then we'll talk about DraftKings. Look at this weasel bum. Did the link. So I have a bot that doesn't allow links in the comments. But this bum put a space between the front and the back of the link. Well done. And I don't have my tablet up to block you. So congrats, I guess. Does that work? Do people see that and they're like, ooh, and then click on it and then you steal their identity and everybody's happy? Okay, let me talk through some monkey knife fight that I got going on. Knockout Kings. I did Spann, Sarukian, and Buckley. The only thing that you need for Knockout Kings is one KO or TKO. No submissions, but at KO or TKO. That's why I have Sarukian, because I don't think he's going to knock him out on his feet. He could, but I think he's going to take him down, elbow sandwich, fight's over. So I only need one of them to win, and I 25% profit. So I only did $20, but 20 to get 25, those are basically a lock. Straight up, basically a lock. I had my bets up for a long time. Just stick around. I'll get back to them. Joe with the new mattress. Is that an invite? Then I did a rapid fire. I love rapid fires because you'll get different fighters and, like Hannah Goldie. So all I need to do in a rapid fire is Hannah Goldie going to get more strikes in than Kanzayad? I think so. Because I think Kanzayad is going to be held against the cage the entire time. So Hannah Goldie, she just needs to do more strikes than Panny. And then I got Pennington over Sarukian, and that's because I think Sarukian gets a stoppage. That one's a little risky because she could just be holding against the cage, not a ton of volume. But I think Sarukian's going to get a stoppage, which is why I have Jesus, Donut Jr. Jacob, can you kick that Muppet out too? Does that work? Like, do you just hop into live streams, put that there, and then people just like clicking away? I use private IP. Is it private IP? The little green one. I use that. I don't use it for betting or anything. I use it. Actually, I haven't used it in forever. But when I used to use it, I never had issues. So, I had to spend some of that 4,000. You're a tall big dude, and I only have a queen. That's funny. Yeah, you did win a couple grand in DraftKings, so well done. The reason you guys can get $60 for winning this week is because Joe Todoro won a bunch last week. Yeah, Jacob. All right, ask Jacob to stand up next to me in our next live stream. See how tall he is. I did a get 3 to win to 5 times your money, so 10 to win 50. Pennington more than 85, Lipsky more than 79, Gravely more than 76. This one makes me a little nervous. I don't know if Lipsky's going to get more than 79. I think they'll be striking the whole time, but Lipsky's not great off of her back. So Mandy Bohm may just shoot a million takedowns to get her on her back. Then I have Hannah Goldie and Emily Whitmire. I did the more there. Should be fine. Then Kasanganai, less, Carlston more. I don't like splitting. Chris Riley said very few people win with splitting, meaning not going more, less. But I think, Kasanganai is gun shy, man. He does not throw a lot of strikes. He just doesn't. And Carlson's nasty wrestler, he's actually not a great wrestler, but he's an effective wrestler who is relentless with his takedowns. So I think he's going to hold Kasanganai down, shoot a million takedowns. Kasanganai is not going to get the 68.5 strikes. Carlson will get past his 47. And if I hit that, Chris said I'm a genius, so let's see what happens. Let's see. Then I have Kanzayad and Pennington. I did less on both. So it's interesting because I need Pennington to get more than Sarukian. And I have Pennington over here in a more to win $50, but I took less here in this fight. So a little bit of hedging going on. And you can do that with Monkey Knife Fight because you 2.5 times your money, you 10 times your money, you 5 times your money. So you don't need to hit every single one. Obviously, that'd be amazing, but you just don't need to hit every single one. And then I have Gravely Maness more. I think that's a solid war. I think they go at it. I think Gravely has very effective wrestling and can edge out a decision, but I think they will go at it. Maness is always live, and his strike line is pretty low. So that's what I got going on. I'll pivot back to bets unless you guys want to see more Monkey Knife Fight. And we can talk about DraftKings as well. What I can't do anymore, anybody watching who knows or doesn't know, we got banned from DraftKings. So DraftKings was like, hey guys, you're sharing full lineups and you can't do that. So they suspended. We didn't get banned. We got suspended. So they suspended our account saying, hey, show us that you're not going to share full lineups anymore and you're good. So we went 3 weeks, no full lineups, and now we're good. So I'm not going to risk getting banned. So no full lineups, but we can talk about, our thoughts, and I can share some people I have in my lineup, but their exact wording was people need to make multiple decisions to build a lineup. Ooh, sending it now. Danny Boy is going to join us. Invite guest. Please hold while I send Dan Kramer an email. His old ass won't even know how to open. It's funny. I'm actually older than Dan, but the way he uses his computer, you would just assume that he was my grandfather. Amazing he has like a real job because the dude can't do anything. I bet he takes notes in meetings on a pen and paper. A chisel and a rock. The old turd. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just had to spend $2,500, plus $3,300 on my air conditioner, which is so freaking annoying because I don't get anything new. It's just the same cold air I had before it broke, which is stupid annoying. And then we had a medical bill from last year, but it took that long to get it sent back over, $2,000. So the past 3 weeks, we spent like $5,000, and I have nothing new to show for it. It's not like, oh, we spent $5,000, but look how pretty whatever is. We can't show full lineups at all because, and I think it literally has to do with their licensing because the reason they're licensed and it's fantasy and not gambling is because you have to make multiple decisions to build a lineup. 6 fighters in a lineup. Same with Monkey Knife Fight. That's why you have to pick 2 lines. If it's 1, it's 50-50, it's luck. If it's 2, it's not luck anymore. You made 2 different distinct decisions to get there, and that's literally how it's legally classified as fantasy. So that was DraftKings' whole thing. If you are posting full lineups, people don't need to make decisions anymore. So we can't post full lineups. You wanted Zhu for Knockout Kings. I don't know why MKF doesn't have that fight. He should be adding it. So the way it works, because I've had this conversation with Chris Riley before, basically they can't just add fights. They work with a third party, and that third party feeds data to a lot of this stuff. And until they have that data from the third party, he can't make it live. And he said they don't have it for that fight for some reason. Jill. People are winning on here and buying things. We got new carpet and painted the whole house. That's so funny. Good. I'm glad I could help. And look who we have. How are you?
What's going on?
Welcome. How's your day?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. It was like one of those on the fence days, but I just got an email. My DraftKings was reinstated.
I just told them the story. Welcome back. You had to send the picture of your face and your...
No, I didn't even do it. I have no idea what happened. They sent me that email, and I ignored it, thinking about my plan of attack. Because I don't know. I mean, I didn't really care, but I was like, I'm not sending them a picture of... It's just weird.
It's funny because you don't need it to sign up. Why do you need it to get reinstated?
Right. I was like, who is this person? Like, they signed their name, too. I was like...
I forget the name. I think the only time there was ever a name was like the VP of ethics or something.
Like, how are we at the top of their list to where the VP of their, fraud investigation is asking me for pictures holding my ID? But something happened. I don't know. Maybe you said, you didn't send a picture, right?
No, they didn't even ask me, but my username on DraftKings is my name, so they could connect those dots a lot easier. Where yours is not.
It's like my 2 initials and my name. So
yours is like Big D 69X. So it's going to take a little dot connecting for them to figure that out.
I mean, they wouldn't even ask for ID if that was what it was. No, yeah, they. I don't know. I feel like somebody like looked in the email thread and was like, "Guys, seriously, just keep going back and forth with this guy for a month." He literally said he had no idea that he couldn't do that. He's not doing it anymore, and you're like harassing him. So, anyways, all good. Let's. I haven't tried it yet, though.
I'm in, man. Do our friends league. I'd love to take your money again. And hey, our weekly $50 bet is back on.
You guys, I do not know much this week. I have not had time to do the tape.
Dan, up until we got suspended, you and I had a perpetual $50 bet. So I look forward to my Venmo again. Oh, that's going to be great.
I'll still probably beat you. It'll take me 20 minutes.
You haven't beaten me in 11 months.
One, that's a blatant lie. I thought you were going to say 1 month because we've both been banned for a month.
All right,
that would have been the only accurate play you could have made there.
I'll pull up Venmo
on here.
How do I ban this Muppet? Hide user on this channel. Bye-bye, Donut Jr. Loser. Okay.
Let me pull up the chat. What's going on in the chat? How's everybody doing?
Josh said we posted one of the top winning lineups, so that's why I don't know how DraftKings. We literally all three of us got an email at the exact same time 3 weeks ago saying your account has been suspended. So then we had to all reach out individually and work on our own cases. So I don't know. Maybe somebody tattletaled. Maybe they just came across the channel. Maybe I don't know what happened, but and none of us knew you can't share lineups. Obviously, we wouldn't blatantly defy the rules like that. So
the funny thing is like if they went back in our history, do you remember early on? I was literally only playing in our league. I was doing none of the bit multi-entry, and then we're like reading the comments. People are like, "Oh, thanks, Dan. I won $38,000 with your lineup." I'm like, I won 80.
That literally.
Why am I not doing this?
That's exactly why I started doing the big tournaments. I'm like, other people literally copy pasted and won a ton of money. Yeah. And then I stopped doing the tournaments because they're useless, and I do 50-50s and double-ups now.
I just do them all.
Yeah.
They're gonna be imagine I hit it big this week. They're going to be like,
you're off again. Get out of here. You're out again. Something happened. You cheated.
They're going to be like, we made a mistake. We never got your picture with the ID, so it's retroactively banned. Sorry.
So a bunch of people saying hi to you, which, you know.
What's going on? Let me pull up YouTube on my my iPad here so I can see what's going on.
Jacob's pretending he's at the gym.
Is he also pretending it's leg day? It's never leg day.
Yeah, that's that. He's been pretending it's leg day for 11 years. Those toothpicks he's walking around with.
Yeah, it could be for 11 years, and I don't even know if that would help. What's going on, Josh? Oh wow, everyone, we got a lot of action here. 42 people, Angelo.
Yeah, it was like 56 before, and then I started talking about God knows what, and it dropped very quickly.
Oh man, you went on one of those rants where you
who knows? Who knows? Killing
politics
time.
Or something. Just started offending people left and right.
I was walking through how you're a bully and I'm a bully, and Jacob can't really handle the bully all the time, and that's why he no-showed this week.
I wouldn't say we're bullies. We're just neither of us are backing down to a point where it's probably.
It's unhealthy. We have unhealthy relationships.
Personality, a defect. But yes, we do have issues there. What up, Jester? What's up, Ace of Spade?
Because they're like, why no Jacob this week? I was like, I'll explain why. I wanted to film Monday. Jacob didn't want to film Monday, so I was mean and bullyish through text until Jacob said, "Fine, do it by yourself." And so then I did it by myself. That's why there was no Jacob this week. Pretty straightforward, and honestly, that's a pretty common plot line that I don't think is going to change anytime soon.
I came in last time late, and you guys were. I literally the live thing. I came in. You guys were literally in the middle of just a full-blown argument over. I mean, it had nothing to do. It was just who said something.
No, here's the argument. I'll tell you what the argument was. It is a stupid argument.
Again, no, actually, I don't.
I'll just very quickly. So I live in Texas. obviously. Jacob lives in Texas. Neither one of us are Texas natives. And Texas high school football is like a thing, obviously. And I live in Prosper. We have a stadium. Like I back up to the big town park. The stadium is in there. The high school football stadium seats 17,000 people. 17,000 people for high school football. So I got tickets to homecoming. You had to I literally had to wait for them to come back. I bought them immediately. I bought 5, the max they would let me buy. And my cousin's coming into town, and my cousin, who's from New York, is like, "Hey,
I did say I did not want to relive this. I thought you were going to give.
No, we're gonna relive it.
You are deep in the details. Okay,
I'm almost done.
All right.
So then, my cousin is a normal human being that's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Texas during the homecoming game. I'd love to see a Texas football game. I've never seen one before. Great, let's go." I go, "Jacob, do you want to come with us?" "Well, I've seen football games before." I'm like, "Never a Texas high school football game." I've seen the Colts play. Dude, we're talking about two different things. They're very different. Like a Texas high school football thing is like a bucket list item. "Oh, I've been at basketball games that are crowded." All right, dummy. And that was the argument.
Has he seen Varsity Blues? That's the real question.
Dude, it's all crazy. All right, David, what's your question? Please give me a very specific MMA question, David, and I will answer it. Very specific MMA questions, and we'll answer them. So our bets are on the screen. If you have questions about our bets, let me know. DraftKings, let me know. We talked about monkey knife fights. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. We've got another 40 minutes. What questions do you have, Davey?
So what bets did you? Let's ask other people, because I'll be honest.
You did some bets. Pull up, look at your phone, and people are asking about your bets. You did some bets, so talk about them, and I'll talk about. Somebody asked what's special about Hannah Goldie. I'll answer that while you pull up some bets. Nothing is special about Hannah Goldie. Honestly, in her last fight, she did not look good at all, but she's jacked out of her mind. She has insane volume, very good cardio. She's coming off that loss to Diana Belbita, but I picked that loss. I bet on her to lose that fight. So that's what I thought was going to happen. But she did show that if she wants to grapple, she can. And, like I said, insane volume and super strength. Her opponent is a 500 fighter making her UFC debut. So 2 strikes against her. Her real UFC debut. She's on The Ultimate Fighter. And honestly, skill-wise, she's an okay kickboxer who uses her kicks, but she relies on her wrestling, and she is not going to take down a short, jacked Hannah Goldie. So Hannah Goldie's volume, her just stature, Hannah Goldie's going to get that done, and I liked her at plus money in this fight, even though she's not very good. So that's how I got to Hannah Goldie. And I could be wrong, but that's how I got to Hannah Goldie. Joe said, "Yeah, I copied your money line bet on Hannah." Good luck. I'm rooting for both of us, obviously, but I always get nervous when other people are like, "Ooh, I'm doing the same thing." Did you pull up your bets yet?
Yeah, I got a couple. Yeah, I got to go to a couple different sites here, but I'll give you the ones that one I'm just looking now. It's gotten even better in terms of odds, which means it might be even worse of a bet. But I don't know. JP Bays plus 3.5 points. Again, I have not done the film I normally do this week, but I remember Montel Jackson being an absolute beast. But I also remember JP Bays being a tough wrestler, an up-and-comer, a lot of hype on him. He got beat by a guy who's I thought was very, very underrated. We picked him to win. We made a bunch of money. But I think, I don't know. If there's a lot of wrestling involved, he could sneak around in there. And plus 3.5 points at now, plus 275. All he's got to do is go to decision and win one round on 3 judges' scorecards, and you cash at plus 275 even if he loses. So if he loses 29-28 on 3 judges' scorecards, you win your bet at almost 3-1 odds. So I threw that out there. Again, Montel Jackson minus 800. I'm just looking at some of these odds on Montel Jackson. I also bet Hold on, because it's on a different site. I want to give you the exact odds.
Yeah, I did. As you're pulling that up, I'm a big fan of the 3.5 bets. I have one on Nate Maness. I think Tony Gravely's wrestling will get it done. I think Tony Gravely, yeah, he's a very effective wrestler. I know that for a fact. But he does gas. I think he'll gas in the third round. Nate Maness will steal a round. And all I need is one single round. Jesus, how many people do I have to ban because they're spamming with stupid links?
It doesn't even look like a link. What I mean, what, I don't
It is a
understand.
link. They put a space so that they can't, because I banned links. So they have to put a space. It's so, like, there's no way that works.
I just clicked on it. I'm about to sign up for
You're like, wait a minute, free? Is that
free money.
free?
Oh, yeah. Need my social? Sure. I love free money. No, I bet on Gravely a while back. I think I got like minus 170 ish odds, which I think there were better odds originally, but he's about minus 192 right now where I'm looking. He was minus 200 or more on some sites. I do think he's going to get a bunch of takedowns. So I did bet him. He's at American Top Team, so I'm always a little biased, but I like him in this fight. Man, I'm very tempted to take Devin Clark at plus 145.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have the over. I think Kudalaba, he's got insane power. He's willing to die. The problem is he does die because he is so willing to. But Clark's probably not a terrible pick. He's a very good wrestler, but Kudalaba can grapple, but he also makes big mistakes. So that's why I didn't even touch that. That's why I just did the over on rounds. I think it'll go over 1.5 rounds.
Yeah, and if it does, well, to be honest, if it goes over 1.5 rounds,
Then Kudalaba probably loses, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. Kudalaba has gassed in a lot of fights. He's got a lot of power early. But Devin Clark, I think, is smart enough to know I better shoot some takedowns. He's also athletic, so it's not like he can't. It's not like if he's on the feet, he's a total liability. He's just, you don't want to go back and forth shot for shot with Kudalaba. I don't know. Again, I've not done a lot of research this week, but I look at that one. I kind of like him at plus 145 with the wrestling.
Yeah, it would be the wrestling for sure. Here, we have a few questions. Here we go. We're catching up. Ace of Spades.
Actually, fight goes to decision is plus 155. That's probably an even better bet.
Ace of Spades.
If you think what's his name's going to win?
Yeah, exactly. Ace of Spades asked about stacking the main event. I answered it before. I basically said, and I'll let you go. I basically said that I would not stack this main event because you stack a main event if it's an absolute war, and the math is when you put both fighters in there, it's basically $8,100 per fighter. I don't know if the loser is going to get $8,100 worth of points in DraftKings because I think whoever loses is going to have a low output. Like it's either going to be Anthony Smith dancing around, touching up Ryan Spann, and him not being able to get off, or Ryan Spann sledgehammering Anthony Smith and he'll be put out, and that's it. So loser's not going to score a ton of points. I wouldn't stack. What do you think?
I don't know. Hold on. I want to look something up real quick. I'll give you an answer to that in just a minute. In a cash game, it's never a terrible play. Well, I shouldn't say that. It is a terrible play sometimes. It depends whether you think someone's really going to get a finish that early. I don't see Anthony Smith really getting a finish right out of the gates unless he catches him something on the ground. Again, this is just my gut feeling. But I just want to look something up real quick because there's a site I have that is pretty good for a lot of just statistical stuff because I haven't done the tape. I just want to look at some of the numbers real quick.
While you're pulling that up, the other question is, did any of us from George, did either of you hedge a bet, change or hedge a bet, or are you considering the change or hedge this week? If so, why? I don't hedge bets. I'll hedge Monkey Knife Fight because the payouts are so high. I don't hedge bets because it's like kind of lost money. But I have the Nate Maness. I guess you can call that a hedge against my pick. I think Tony Gravely wins.
But the opposite of lost money. It's like protecting yourself from losing money.
Then just make I don't know. Then bet less. Like,
yeah, but generally, there's different ways. Generally, a hedge will happen after the fact if the odds change or you change your mind for whatever reason. But sometimes the line will shift so much. You're like, all right, I could hedge this to where I break even on one, and then I'm guaranteed either even or plus money.
Like Jacob will do that. Jacob will be like the Kudalaba fight. Jacob would be like, all right, Kudalaba is either going to win by knockout or the other dude's going to win a decision. And then he'll just bet both sides. And it's like, those are two very specific bets. And here's his bets if you want to look at them a little deeper. But those are just two very specific bets that I don't know. I'm not a big hedge guy, but you guys are more professional than I am. I'm just conservative. I've been very fortunate the last couple of months, but I'm also picky as hell.
Yeah, Dalton makes a good point. I think it was kind of what we were talking about the other day, and then I'm just re-looking at it now. If you're gonna hedge, if you're gonna take the over on the Kutalaba fight, you might as well bet what's his name by decision. Let's just see what the odds are on that now. Probably got it.
Well, I don't know about that. It's interesting because he doesn't put anybody away. He can't finish anybody, but Kutalaba gets finished. It's just I don't know.
Well, I was just gonna say that when he gasses hard, it's like even in the Glover fight, I always talk about that one just because I was there and I remember it vividly. Like, man, he was like very scary guy in the first round, and then the second round, as soon as he got on bottom, it was like, all right, please finish me.
Yeah.
I gave it my best shot in the first, but I'm good. It's so now.
Funny. I mentioned it the other day. I just feel like when I hear the name Kutalaba, I just feel like he's amazing. And then when I start digging in, I'm like, oh, yeah, he's not. So I don't know why I feel that way, but sometimes I put him in the same category as, oh, man, who's that other dude that we got 1 million views? Oh, I forget his name.
We got who? Oh, 1 million views. We got 1 million.
Yeah, views. It's like I forget his name. He fought on that. Oh Jesus, I forget. He fought at Fight Island a few times. Oh man, I can't remember his name. Anyway, who do you? We can't say our.
Oh, here we go. Projections.
Did you do your DraftKings lineup yet? Because our bet is on.
Oh, what time does it start? What time are we starting?
30 minutes.
Oh, plenty of time.
Okay. Well, even if you don't submit a lineup, I win. It's that simple.
Actually, I can't do it. Wow. I definitely. I'm going to probably.
Don't talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not actually doing this, but if I was doing it, I'll tell you who my 5 would be.
Here's no, I wouldn't play games if I were you. There's another good point for Dalton. Kutalaba is a good live bet because if he's guns blazing the first round, the odds will be crazy, and then he's going to gas. I actually might watch that with my iPad, specifically waiting for the live bet. And you can live bet. We've got 3 betting partners, basically 2 because 2 of them are the same. We've got Bet Online. Go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have Bet Online. They do live bets, and Bet US, who also does live betting. You can live bet UFC in both of them. They're different for different reasons. They both have free money. One is a 125% match. One's a 100% match. So grab a live bet. I live bet with Bet Online mostly, but Bet US, I'm gonna start digging in a little more just because that 125% promo match is nice.
Yeah, the Bet Online one I like a lot because you get those plus 3.5 bets where you can get.
They have better props for sure.
Yeah, well, I like both sites. You get the money line on Bet US, and again, for people who've had issues that don't want to deal with credit card stuff. Sometimes there is you got to call your bank if you want to get the Bet Online money in, which it's really not that hard, but I get it. It's kind of annoying, and you're like, just kind of throws you off. But BetUS, they'll call you. They'll be like, "Hey, thanks for signing up. Just checking to make sure everything's all right." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Wow, that's a great idea." I actually want to. I was going to reach out to the Bet Online people and be like, "Hey, can we just do that to help people? Because we'll have Jacob cold calling people because we can see the number of signups and then the number of deposits, and it's like our signups are through the roof, and then the deposits are, and that's probably a normal thing, but it's so far different that a good percentage of those are probably people who tried to deposit and their bank rejected it the first time." So.
Well, that's what, when I was talking to BetUS, that was his whole thing. He was like, listen, we have been doing this for 20 years. We were an online sportsbook for 20 years. We have relationships with all of these banks. We do not have any of the deposit issues that other sites have. And he's right. But you know what's funny? I deposited money in Monkey Knife Fight today because I withdrew. Oh, I took a beating on baseball. And then I withdrew, not baseball, football, and I withdrew. So I deposited some money today. I've never lost on fights, but the one time I tried to do some football, I got hammered. Anyway, my bank declined it and then texted me, "Was this you?" for Monkey Knife Fight. So then I just responded to text saying yes, and then it went in. So I think
that is the best thing you can do. If you can set your bank up to where you can have them text you, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and I think
I travel a lot internationally, and my card used to always get shut off. And then one time I randomly I'm like, "Can you guys just like text me or something?" They're like, "Oh, you'd like the text message option?" This is like, 4 years ago or whatever. I'm like, "Yeah, please." Ever since then, it's never been a problem.
Yeah.
They do push that yes. Was this you? Yes. Boom, done.
I think who do you? I mean, I can't tell you guys what my lineup is or who is in my lineup. But I'm looking at my lineup right now. Hold on. And I'll tell you who I love that's in my lineup. So I won't give you my full lineup. I like Aaron Blanchfield, who I'm not a big fan of some of those matchups, but I really do think she'll win by submission. So I like Aaron Blanchfield, and I like Sarukian. Those are my two expensive ones. And then I went ahead and I put Brandon Jenkins in there. I think he beats Rong Zhu. And he's so freaking cheap. So freaking cheap. So those are my two expensive, and I could afford them because my Rong Zhu is $6,700.
I can't argue with you on the price because he's that cheap, but I think Rong Zhu is going to win. But man, yeah, $6,700. But they're both cheap, so it's like I'm doing two separate lineups.
That's a fight
with one with the other.
I mean, that's what we talked about yesterday. If that was 5 rounds, I would double that up in a second because I think it's a good fight, back and forth fight, and they're both cheap. But it's only 3
right now, Angelo. Contests. All right.
Isn't it still? Dude, when I made my lineup yesterday, I was like, wow. It felt like I was rejuvenated.
Yeah, that's what they call the sign of a gambling problem.
Yes. And George, actually, I could.
Rong Zhu is an ATT, and I think I said the other day. I checked some guys. He's young. He's tough. He's getting better. He's good already, but he's young, tough, works hard. So he's one of those guys. I think he's 20. He's only 20 years old, but if I'm not wrong. But at any rate, that's the age where every fight you see big improvements.
It'll be interesting for sure. So real quick, George said Bitcoin solves the deposit and the stuff. Yeah, I mean, I withdraw my money in Bitcoin and it's super easy. And Mbe brought up a good point because I use Coinbase. Mbe was like, you could just use CASHAPP, which is actually no. You said don't use Cash. Somebody said use CASHAPP, and that works as well. But real quick, our mutual friend. I'm not going to say his name just because I don't know how much. If he wants people knowing, but
wow, that was very controlled of you. Angelo. Normally you're just like,
yeah, I don't want to I don't know if he cares or not. That's why he bet he found round prop bets and he picked 5 fights and bet does start round 2 and parlayed it together. So does start round 2 is like minus 500, minus 600. He took 5 of them, put them together, and he's getting like plus 250, plus 300. And I think that's a great idea because, first round stoppage is, he said he did the math. He went back for 25, 30 cards or something like that. Every single card had 2 to 3 fights end in the first round, which means 10 to 13 of them didn't. So it's a solid idea. So I'm going to see how he does this week, and then I might start doing some round line parlays like that.
Yeah, I've done. I'm sure I know what site he did that on. I've done that a few times. I've done whatever, we can say it, but Bovada.
I was just not saying the person's name. Yeah, the site is the same.
Oh yeah, Bovada. You can do all sorts of parlay props. You can do that with a different fight, just a money line. You can kind of bounce all over the place.
Yeah, it'll be and an Mbeg brought up a good point, saying the last time all the Chinese Performance Institute fighters all fought, they didn't have coaches with them, so it was a bit sloppy in who was cornering who. And I'm not basing this off of his last fight, because just like I'm arguing JP Bays is much more live than people are giving him credit for, because I'm not basing that off his last fight too. Just looking at Rong Zhu's body of work, he's very, very good. But he doesn't like fighting while backing up. And I think Jenkins will back him up. I think he'll just come right at him, and he'll back him up, and it'll give him a little bit of a hard time. But him being an American top team is interesting.
Give me some tips this week. I'm looking to make a few bets here. I think I'll do the ones I was talking about.
Who are you talking to? Me?
I'm talking to everybody in the chat.
Oh, I was like, you kidding me? Watch the show.
Yeah, no. Actually, that's the person I was talking about. Jill, thank you for saying that.
Bagarai?
Baccarat was one of the only Asian fighters on that card, and I believe that is the one guy that when I was watching tape, because it was hard to find a lot of tape on these guys. I was like, this guy looks really impressive, and he won. I actually bet him too, I believe.
I don't remember. It's so funny how quickly I forget. We do all this research, all these breakdowns, and by Monday, I forgot all of it, and we're just starting all over.
I mean, think about it. Normal weeks, up until a month and a half ago, I was doing. We were all doing 16 fights a week, 2 fighters every fight, watching tape on all of them. It's impossible to remember it all, but then you do remember the ones that you win big on, and you remember the ones you lose big on. So
yeah, he is Mongolian. Yeah,
I'm just looking at here. I don't know where this is in the card. The Gustavo Lopez Ali Alatang fight.
They moved. It was second, but they reorganized the whole thing, so I'm not sure now.
Zhu Rong. I wonder how much money has come in on Brandon Jenkins.
I feel like that line moved for sure. And listen, I didn't bet him because I'm not positive he's going to win. I do just like the matchup, though.
No, I'm hoping the line moves so I can take Zhu Rong. It's still, well.
What is it?
Hold on. Minus 230.
That dude, it was bigger than that yesterday. So it moved quite a bit.
333 at one point. It started at minus 200, went right to minus 333, and then now it's at minus 230, which, I don't know. I think he's going to win, but the other guy's plus 195. Okay.
Mbe asked if you think he'll get a finish. So I think he loses, but Mbe asked if you think he'll get a finish. Yeah, and that's right. Jester reminded us, Zhu Rong missed weight. So
I know. I saw that. I didn't see the video, but I read that he did miss weight. Did he look bad on the scale?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I just saw the results, and I didn't watch it either. Jacob usually watches all that stuff, but I bullied him out of the show, so we don't get that insight this week.
Yeah. I should. He looked fine. How much did he miss by, Jester?
Yeah, it should be.
You guys, I don't know. Like, I'm obviously friends with a lot of people down at ATT, but the owner Dan Lambert has been in this AEW. I don't know if any of you guys are wrestling fans. I'm not really anymore. I used to be when I was younger, but he's been like all over this AEW, which apparently is like now all of a sudden like
the fun one.
Big, like it's like I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but from what I'm hearing, it's like kind of overtaking WWE, or it's like the new up and coming thing that people are kind of getting more interested in. And he's had like a huge role in it. It's pretty funny. He's bringing all the guys on, George, Junior Dos Santos, but he's pretty damn good on the mic.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah, his whole shtick is just absolutely like trashing the AEW fans. So like full blown heel. It's really pretty funny stuff. Like he's like, all you pansy millennials, like playing video games in your mom's basement. AEW sucks. It's pretty funny, some of the stuff he comes up with. What was the one he said the other day? Oh, he's like something about, I went to the pro shop and realized that there were a lot of shirts sold out. You guys must be pretty hardcore fans. He's like, but then I looked, all the ones that were sold out were men's small and women's extra large. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's funny. Good for him. He was
back on MMA before we get yelled at again. I went heavy on Harrison. He's showing it that he has the gas to relentlessly pursue the body lock, even when he doesn't consistently get the takedown for 5 rounds.
Yeah, that's this comment here. It blocks your face when I pin them, but here's the comment for anybody looking. Yeah, I like Harris, man. I mean, he was my pick. I like the problem with it's Carlson Harris versus Impa. Impa Kasanganai's got awesome speed and power, and the problem is he doesn't really use it, right? He's like super gun shy, like frustrating at times because he just like takes his time and doesn't throw a ton. And
that's interesting. So Carlston Harris, okay. I'm just looking here. I'm trying to think if I saw that fight. I gotta squeeze a little bit of tape in. I gotta get my lineup in, Angelo. I see what you're doing here. We start in what, 13 minutes? I haven't.
I told you half an hour ago you didn't want to hear it, so it's not my fault.
Well, I'm bouncing all over the place over here.
And keep in mind, Impa Kasanganai has zero knockouts or TKOs. So we talk about his power.
Well, is Harris a pure wrestler? That's a question for, I guess, you and also Dalton.
I would say, yeah, he can strike. His striking's a little like reckless and loose. But
yeah, I'm not worried about the strike. Impa Kasanganai is a good technical striker. So
Carlson Harris wrestles like he's relentless with his wrestling. He's not a phenomenal wrestler, but he's relentless.
He's going to smother him. Okay, because you look at who Impa Kasanganai has fought, and there have not been many wrestlers. No. I don't see any in like Maki Patola. Okay, that's a striking matchup. Joaquin Buckley, remember that with the crazy spinning back kick. Politnikov. I'm trying to remember.
What are the odds on that? I think we've just convinced. I mean, what have the odds turned into? This is the problem with the last minute bets. I have bets; they're solid. I like them, and then I get fast and loose on these live streams because I bet Aaron Blanchfield to win by submission in rounds 1, 2, and 3, and that's like. Just because we're sitting here talking about it, and then it's so easy to convince yourself of anything you want to be convinced of.
All right, Angelo, you got to talk. You got to hold this for. You got to hold the show
while you slap together your losing DraftKings lineup.
Yeah, because if I don't get it in and you charge me $50, which I agree that you should.
Those are the rules.
Those are the rules, right? So let me get it in before I.
So Carlson Harris is now a slight favorite. A slight favorite at -114. Impa's -105. So it's basically an even matchup on the odds. So I'm not going to touch it. If he was a plus money, I probably would. Because
that's kind of what I was hoping for.
Jesse. Thank you very much for the donation. You're always insanely supportive. So I appreciate that, Jesse. Thank you very, very much, as usual.
Thank you, guys.
So The problem with it's funny because like Impa, it's funny that we say Impa has power, and I said Impa has power, and it looks like he does, but he's not. He hasn't stopped. He can't stop anybody by KO or TKO. So it just looks really powerful. But at the end of the day, is it power if he's cracking people and they're not going down? I don't know. Dalton said Harrison's striking is Harris, right? Harris's striking is sloppy, but he hits like a mule. And if Impa is worried about him clinching, that makes his striking that much more dangerous. It is, and it's wild too. It's really just there to set up the wrestling. But he swings and it does land sometimes. So Dalton got Harris.
Me into the league, right?
What'd you say?
You invited me into the league, right?
It's the same league we've always hit. We were never kicked out.
I know. My account has been banned for a month, so
it doesn't matter. Just go. You should see it. Do you need me to send you a link?
Maybe.
Jesus.
I'm not in the league. You don't
Hold on, Grandpa. I'll send it to you. Unbelievable. Just open the DraftKings app on the home screen. On the home screen, you'll see the leagues. There's the one for everybody watching. There's ours right underneath it. But I'll send it to you.
They probably wiped me out of stuff. No, you normally send me
because you're old and don't know how to do it in the app. I have to send a text message. There you go. You have it in text now. Welcome. Unbelievable.
Can you send it to me via USPS, please?
Yeah, I'll fax it. Let me fax it to you. Rob asked how confident I am about Goldie. Listen, don't bet it. Don't bet it. I placed the bet. I am confident, but as I'm staring at it on the screen, I don't love it. So don't follow
send it
that.
to me via Raven.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Hannah is busy. Hannah is jacked. Hannah's actually decent. Emily is also an okay kickboxer, but she's a 500 fighter. I mean, I'm basically taking Hannah is like always in a good mood, always willing to fight. She goes out there, she scraps, she makes mistakes. She's not great, but she scraps, has confidence, really tries to make it work. And even if she loses, she's in a fight. And her last fight, at the end of the fight, she was losing, and then got an awesome takedown and honestly could have finished the fight if she had a little more time. So, Hannah's tough, jacked, in shape, ready to go, always shows up and performs even when she loses and makes big mistakes. Emily Whitmire's a 500 fighter who's making her UFC debut. That's 2 strikes against her. She's okay striker, okay grappler. I think she's going to have a hard time taking Hannah down, and I think now that Hannah knows her wrestling can get things done, I mean, that's how I ended up on that bet, but it's one of those bets that I placed it, and the more I look at it, the less I like it. The Nate Maness 3.5 points, the more I look at it, the more I like it. So that's sort of how it goes, right? And we don't know if Hannah Goldie has good BJJ or not. We've never really seen her get tooled or dominate with the jiu-jitsu. It's actually hard to say. And no video that I broke down really told me anything about her BJJ. It can't be useless because I haven't seen her get submitted. But she doesn't necessarily do anything with it either, because even when she got that takedown, she was looking to strike from there. So it'll be interesting. She does, and Mbe says Goldie showed she has heart. Wish she committed to her kicks and punches more. Her kicks are insane. She'll just throw a kick straight to your head. She'll be 6 inches from you, and then just throw a kick at your head, right there. Doesn't need space. It goes up real fast. So we're dropping in 6 minutes, and Dan, who the hell knows what he just did and why? There it is. We're dropping in 6 minutes. Anything? What the? He's doing it on purpose. So God knows what disgusting act. Any questions for the last couple of minutes here? I wonder what the stats are. Jester, I wonder what the stats are. Win-loss for fighters making their UFC debut. I'm sure it was.
Hey, I'm going to jump real quick because I want to get this lineup in so I can beat Angelo and tell him that I beat him with a lineup I put in 5 minutes notice, 6 minutes notice. So later, everybody. Good luck. I'm definitely going to start trying to do some more research soon as my traveling dies down. Or in the meantime, go with Angelo's advice. I'll chime in where I can. But later, everybody, good luck.
All right, see you, dude. I look forward to your Venmo later.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, guys. Couple minutes. The moron just shut his camera off instead of actually leaving. What an idiot! I had to kick him out. I mean, he's. How old do you guys think he is? Because he's not old enough to not know how to use his computer. Plague Runner, what monkey knife fights do you have? Throw them out there real quick. We got a couple minutes. I have a hard stop in 5 minutes at 3 p.m. Central Time. So what monkey knife fights do you have? I have $20 left, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but I play with 100 every week. Hopefully I'm up double, then I have a 200 profit, and I'll do that. Although football took my brother-in-law's picks, he wins. Somehow I followed and lost. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, decades. Yeah, exactly. Jesus, he's still here. Oh, I could just say what I want, and I know he's going to hear. That's even better. That's like when I know Jacob's pretending to be at the gym. I bet Dan Kramer's AOL Instant Messenger, I bet he had the most beautiful song lyrics in the description box. Oh, I guarantee beautiful song lyrics with like the tildes and the little stars and stuff. Absolutely. Oh, what's that song? I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Because he broke up with a girl, and that was his AOL, his instant messenger profile and away status. Still alive, but I'm barely breathing. I don't even know the rest of that song. 4 minutes. Quite the countdown we got here. So, any last questions? This is a weird week. I don't know how good I feel. Oh, let's pull it up. They must have just added it. Let's do it. This is what we're going to do in the last 4 minutes. Okay. New game. Fist. Come on. I just got fiber internet too, so this is lightning fast. What the hell just happened? New game. Fist. Where are we? Here it is. All right. Hate that line. I'm going more. Let's do it. I think it's going to be a war. I'm hoping it's a war. More. 66 is a lot. Man, those almost 70s are tough. I'm going to do more. The script, break even. Yep, that's the song. That was Dan's profile song. All right, so there's my opinion. More. I do think it's going to be war. I don't think there's a stoppage there. I think they both. You want them in knockout kings. I think Zhu loses, but I could be wrong. The buffering was never my internet. The buffering's my laptop. I have a 2017 MacBook, and it's the camera stopped working. The battery doesn't charge anymore unless it's plugged in, so it's like on its last leg. But I'm not getting a new one until the new ones come out. I'm not going to pay full price for a MacBook, and then a month later, the brand new, fully revamped, completely new design MacBooks come out. So I'm waiting. So it was never my internet speed that was an issue, but I have a gig up and a gig down. So internet will never be an issue as long as my laptop can keep up. Like, you probably can't hear it now, but it is so loud. Yeah, but the problem is, look at his record. It's fluff. The first 10 fights of his career against absolute nobodies in China that were just designed to make him good. And then when he came here and fought somebody really good, look what happened. So I'm not saying Zhu is bad. I think Zhu is good. But he needs to be the one coming forward and dictating the pace. And I think Brandon's just going to bring it to him and keep him on his back foot. So Zhu could win. I do think it'll be a war. I think they'll go at it. Should be an exciting fight. I am going to drop. Thank you guys all very, very much. Thanks, Jesse, for the donation. We had a couple subscribers pop in as well. Thank you all very much. It is so appreciated. Good luck. I'm rooting for all of us, obviously. And I'll share my lineup with you tomorrow. I can't share it now. I just got my my privileges back. But however I did tomorrow, I'll do it in the recap show. Thank you all very much. as always, unbelievably appreciated. Maybe my kids go to bed at 8 o'clock. If the fights are still going, maybe I'll just hop on for a random live, do the co-main or main or something. I don't know. But thank you all very much. Appreciate it. And see you maybe later. If not, see you on Tuesday.